Commiserations. Lost to a very good England team, very good England performance. Do you think your team looked a little bit tired, perhaps?
Ja, det är helt riktigt. Vi förlorar mot ett lag som var bättre än oss.
Absolutely right. We lost against the team who was better than us.
Så grämer man ju inte på samma sätt över förlusten. Däremot så hade vi hade en tro på att vi skulle kunna såra England.
We could hurt England.
Men som sagt, i det här steget i turneringen så är alla lag väldigt, väldigt bra.
At this stage of the tournament, all the teams are very, very good.
Vi har spelat en bra fotboll tycker jag under
we played a good football still, I believe,
turneringen, och jag är väldigt nöjd med hur spelarna har framstått. Jag är extremt stolt över hur spelarna har
I'm proud of how the players have represented Norway
under alla de här nästan 6 veckor nu som vi har varit tillsammans.
And the way they behaved and been during all these 6 weeks we've been here. I think they've
gärna hade varit
med
ett steg till givetvis då, och få spela medaljen. Men som sagt, England var ett bättre lag än vad vi var idag.
But England was a better team than us today.
Rättfärdiga
so that's how it is.
Semifinalister.
So they deserve to go through.
How good is Lucy Bronze, and is she now going to be regarded as one of the world's best players, not just one of the world's best right backs?
Ja, alltså Lucy Bronze är en väldigt, väldigt bra spelare, och det
Lucy Bronze is
som sagt, det visar hon idag, och det har hon visat i andra kamper
today, and she showed it in other games of this tournament.
Hon är absolut en av världens bästa spelare.
She's absolutely one of the best players in the world. Yes.
Thank you. In English, please. Where do you think it went wrong for you, particularly in the first half, with the early goals that you conceded?
Do you want me to answer in English or no? Yeah. Men vi, som sagt, vi visste att högersidan i England var väldigt bra.
We knew that the right side was of England was very, very good. We talked about it
hur mycket man förbereder sig så
it's like this, liksom even how much you prepare yourself, you can't be immune to everything.
För England. Det är klart att det
and
sätter
that goal
lite ton
that came so early,
i matchen. Sen tycker jag vi jämnar ut spelet även om det är så att det skapas en del
after a while I thought we made it a little
sent
better, but then the second goal came late in the first half.
Det är lite halvtufft att ta med sig det in i
pausen,
även om vi försökte och mana på spelarna in i paus och försöka tända den där glöden igen och tända hoppet. Vi sa att gör vi ett mål här nu när vi kommer ut i andra, så då är det match igen. Och så skapar vi den jättemöjligheten.
One goal,
2 jättemöjligheter i början
på andra.
När vi inte riktigt får in dem och så gör
when we can't really score,
då är det väldigt långt
till
extra tid.
Became hard.
När England gör 3-0. Samtidigt så tycker jag att spelarna de sliter och kämpar hela vägen in, och till och med på den femte minuten underläge 3-0 så är det fortsatt så att våra forwards tar de här tuffa löpen och alla sliter och verkligen
vill visa
på sitt bästa i hela matchen, även om matchen är avgjord för
even if the game at the end of course was gone, we still fought.
Jobbar vi och sliter, och vi vill framstå på absolut bästa sätt, även om det är
we want to appear as a good team, even though the match maybe have been lost.
Do we have more questions?
Thank you, and sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. I was telling the translator I would speak in English. I wasn't asking you to speak in English. Apologies. What do you think that Norwegian football would need to do to get up to the level that you see in England play at tonight? What would you like to see happen in the next few years?
Det är en väldigt stor fråga.
That's a very big question indeed. We have to look at what happened in the female football in Europe. And Norway is a small football nation. But many of the others have gone to the 16th final. And we have an extremely young team.
Med vårat lag, och det är de yngre lagen i den här turneringen.
are around 24 years old for most of the players, and many of these players will play for international football teams, so they deserve to go abroad. And we hope to get our best players in bigger clubs in Europe, and we have 7 players now who is abroad. So we're going to build this team where 3/4 of the players will play in big teams in Europe, and that's going to be the development we're going to see. So if we manage to get the best players out in Europe, well, then we can be able to actually compete on this level. And we have lots of talents who are even younger, so we have a potential and really a good view for Norwegian football, I think. We have a good future.
Thank you again. Do you think that England can now win the tournament? How do you think they compare to the other teams that are still in contention?
Ja, men England är ju fortfarande kvar i turneringen, så de kan definitivt...
England is still in the tournament, so of course they can win. We can't win the tournament, but England of course can win the tournament.
Har presterat på en hög nivå.
And they have been on a very high level. It's a very good team.
Vid det här steget i turneringen så är det bara bra lag kvar. Och
it looks at this stage of the tournament, only good teams are left. So we have to see in the final if it's going to be US or whoever is going to be who's playing against them.
Det kommer bli jämna matcher här framöver.
So it's going to be really hard matches for all teams.
Do we have more questions? No? So thank you, Martin.
Tack.
And thank you. In a few minutes, we're going to start the next press conference. Thank you. Yes, exactly. So we're congratulating Lucy Bronze, who's the player of the match from England, presented by Visa. So we'll start off with a couple of questions for her, right here.
Quite fantastic performance from you, Lucy. You must be very, very pleased. Can you just talk us about the work that you did for the goal, really, because it's quite a stunning finish.
Yeah, we practice our set pieces a lot. We grill the coaches a lot for them for the past 2 years, but obviously they're paying off now. We saw Alex Greenwood's goal in the last game, something that we worked on, and then again today, something that we kind of worked on this morning, just quickly. But yeah, we've seen the space was there, and then I just had to hit the ball right, and it was going to go in the back of the net, and thankfully I did that.
One more question for her, right there.
Bonjour, une question en français. Lucie, qu'est-ce que ça vous fait de jouer?
How do you feel?
I can understand.
Oh, exactly, that's true. That's true.
We'll do
I was
it
going
as
to
well,
show her
yeah.
off.
Voilà, je voulais savoir justement qu'est-ce que ça fait de jouer cette demi-finale à Lyon en étant joueuse
how you'll
de
be
Lyon.
feeling playing this semi-final in Lyon, given that you're a Lyon player.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not answering in French. Yeah, I said when I signed for Lyon 2 years ago that the dream was to play for Lyon in the Lyon Stadium in the World Cup, and you know, thankfully I've had to wait 2 years for that dream to come true, but it's come true now, and I'm super excited to be heading to Lyon to home to play in the stadium. It's a stadium that I love playing in, that I love being in, and it's a city that I love.
One more question for Lucy, and then we'll be done.
4 years ago, you were a bit of a surprise, really, as well, at your breakthrough tournament in Canada, and people hadn't heard of you. Was there more pressure on you coming into this tournament? Does it give you more satisfaction to be delivering these performances when you are one of the star players in the world?
I think 4 years ago, I might have been a surprise to everybody else, but it wasn't to me. I knew that I had the capabilities to step up and play for England in a World Cup, and I've done the exact same thing this World Cup. I've still got a lot of things to work on. I'm always striving to be the best player that I can be, and I did that 4 years ago, and I'm doing the same thing now. For me, the pressure's no different. I always want to play my best, and it's the same now as it's ever been throughout my career.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This one?
Yeah, thanks. Now I have questions for Phil. Right there in the middle.
Hi Phil, in English, congratulations. You talked about stepping up 10-15%. You did that and more. It was a fantastic display. You must be very, very pleased and proud of the way they played.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I thought we played no different than we did the previous games. We just were more ruthless. There was a lot of talk before the games about their strengths, their qualities, and this afternoon we'd paid them a lot of respect in the build-up, I've got to say, probably more than any other team we've played in the competition. But this afternoon, when I went to bed and I woke up, I thought, it's about us. It's about the way we play. It's about our style. And we had the team meeting, and I came out, and you just have a feeling that the players were up for it, and they went out there and they delivered. And I've got the best job ever. You know, coaches can be the best coach in the world, but if you haven't got the best players, if you haven't got players with attitude and determination and the ability to learn and improve, then you're dead as a coach. And I suppose that's why for the last 18 months I've been so confident, bullish at times, brave in terms of the words that I'm using, because I work day in, day out with a group of players that are absolutely astonishing. They astonish me every day, they inspire me every day. And tonight, I've got to say, it's probably one of my proudest moments I've had in football.
Right there in the middle.
Phil, obviously this will get huge buzz going back home, semi-final. Last summer, everyone was singing "Football's Coming Home," getting giddy about it. Do you want them doing the same?
No.
Or is it football?
Not yet. No. We're a team that's lost in the semi-finals the last two major tournaments. And I suppose the main reason I feel as I was brought into this job is to get us through a semi-final. And I hope my experience, the fact that we're playing a type of football, and I said to him before the game, I said to him afterwards, I don't think there's been a football team that's played that type of football before, so we're being brave, and I felt as if this type of football will get us through a semi-final. And what I said to him at the end, and I'm not ashamed to say it, I said, are you ready to win a World Cup? Because we're in it to win it. And I said it 18 months ago to you, Matt, in the press conference, and I remember you coming out saying it's a little bit bullish, but I knew at the time that we had a great set of players, and I think we're in good shape.
Question right here.
I had a question in English. Congratulations, Phil.
Thanks, Rob.
Yesterday you were talking about the major doubts and the virus. Was that a bit of mind games? Were you trying to?
No, no, it wasn't. I had confidence that Steph was going to be okay. Millie was 12 o'clock before we knew Millie was okay. The 2 days before the game, she had a sickness bug at the evening. When we named the team, she was fine. So we named her in the team. The morning after, she took a turn for the worst, and then she's gone 4 days without training, 4 days, probably 2.5 days without eating. So this morning it was a real big judgment call because I didn't want to waste a substitution on a centre back. That sounds cruel on centre backs, but I knew that my front players would need the energy, and I knew that in Abby McManus and Leah, I had 2 players that I wasn't concerned about putting them in. So, but she at 12 o'clock, she had the glint in her eyes. I'm playing. She told me she was playing, she was fit, and that and she produced an outstanding performance.
Next question right there on the front row.
Frederick Up from AFP. You will probably not tell me which opponent you wish for the semi-final, but can you tell me about the differences between France and USA for England? And don't tell me at this stage all teams are very, very strong, please.
Well, they are.
well,
I think what you've got the best team in the world who won the last World Cup and the favourites for the World Cup, and you've got probably the second favourites in France who's got the support, the backing of the home nation. Both play probably slightly different types of football. One's real power based, and France played a little bit of a different system, and they've got really good individuals and good organisation. But both teams hold no fear for my players. We actually said when we qualified against Japan that we're in the best side of the draw because of this semi-final. My players want the biggest games, I want the biggest games, and this will be the biggest game in the World Cup.
Right there in the grey shirt in the middle.
Hi, Phil. Can you remember a better all-round performance by an England player in a knockout game in a World Cup than the one we've just seen from Lucy Bronze?
Look, I've said it again. I think Molly, she's the best player in the world. She should win the Ballon d'Or, 100%. I've no doubt about that. She's the best player in the world because what you saw tonight was a player that was playing at the top of a game, and that's her level of performance. You know, the bigger the stage, the bigger the performance. A quality for the first goal, the strike for the third goal, and she was right, Lucy. I was watching the set plays this morning, and we were working on that set play, and it was Kira Walsh that probably should have been hitting that ball, and she said, I'll hit that ball tonight because I'll score. She's phenomenal. She's phenomenal, and she's someone for me that doesn't get the recognition worldwide that she deserves. She plays for Lyon, one of the best teams in the world, and for me, if you were saying about a Ballon d'Or winner this year, Lucy Bronze has got to win it. I've said that for 6 months. Just because she plays at right back, not all right, she's the best. There's nobody like her. There's nobody like her. There's nobody got the physical attributes. Nobody's got the determination. Nobody's got the quality. Nobody's got the ability to play week in, week out, every single minute of every single game and produce unbelievable performances. And I'm lucky.
Next question, right here, the blue shirt.
Phil, your policy of switching players really paid off. They look very fresh. Is that it now? Are you going to stick with this team for the rest of the tournament?
I'm just thinking. Probably not. But I think we will need to. We've got 2 games left now, guaranteed. When you get to semi-finals and finals or third, fourth place playoffs, whichever route we take, we'll have to freshen up in certain positions, whether it's for the semi-final or the final. My players know that I have to pick the freshest team, the freshest team will win the semi-final, and the freshest team will win the next game after that. And you know, when we had the problems with the centre backs this week, in terms of the injury and the illness to Millie, I had no doubt about Abby McManus, Leah Williamson coming in, and I think that just proved to me that my philosophy over the last 18 months has paid fruit. That I can't get enough players on the pitch to play. I really can't. I wish we could have 6 subs, because Jodie Taylor needs to play. She's been phenomenal around the camp. You saw Stanway coming on today and looked like it was just a kick in the park. She just looked like she was ready to play. So I've got so many players that want to, need to, and are ready, that I will pick the most freshest team for the next game, because I trust them all.
Gentleman in the white shirt there.
Just a question about Steph. Again today, another brilliant performance. She was there to clear off the line. She was at the other end to cause carnage for a penalty as well. Considering she was an injury doubt coming into it, how highly do you regard her, but equally, how important is she now to this team?
Irreplaceable, Steph. Her influence around the camp is on and off the field. Sue won't mind me saying, yesterday when we was training, every single minute of every single training session, she trains at 110%. She's one of those players that on and off the pitch, she does everything right. She's first to every meeting. She brings her little notebook. She makes notes. In the unit meetings, she drives the players. She makes sure they're all on time. They're all wearing the same clothes. The discipline, the drive and the policing of the dressing room is Steph. And then she goes out and produces forms like that. And I think she's had the best 12 months of her career, without a shadow of a doubt. She's as fit as she's ever been. And you know, she's my captain.
Thank you. Congratulations, Phil.
Thank you.
Do you think or hope that you've sent out a statement to the two sides that are playing tomorrow night? And I'm also wondering to what extent you'll be thinking about Olympic qualification while that game's going on. Obviously, a USA win would guarantee that for GB.
I'm not thinking about the Olympics, to be fair. I just want to win a World Cup. The Olympics will look after itself. What was the first part of the question?
Do you hope to have sent a statement to the
I think France USA know that it's funny because their 2 scouts were sat literally behind the bench tonight, so I kept waving after every goal at them. No, they were friends, so I noticed them at the start of the game when Ellen scored. Who scored the first goal? Jill scored the first goal, did she? Yeah, Jill scored the first goal. And I turned round and I saw the French and the USA scouts sitting next to each other. So, no, they know what we're like. We've played USA in She Believes. We played France in She Believes 2 years ago. They know full well that it's going to be a brilliant game of football. I've got so much respect for Jill and for the French team. The French team are playing under so much pressure because they're the home nation. And Jill and the American team have a quality that I think that our team has been trying to learn for the last 18 months, and that's that unbelievable desire and belief and confidence to win. When they walk to the World Cup, they know that they're going to be here for 40 days, and they're not scared about saying that. And I think we, over the last 18 months, have been developing that kind of attitude. And that attitude comes with winning. They're serial winners. They're players. You think of Carly Lloyd. I mean, you think of her performances in this World Cup. Everyone keeps saying that she's in her last World. She's phenomenal. Their players are phenomenal. They've got 2 sides that can play, and we've almost. I've looked at them and looked at what their strengths are and tried to implement some of those into our team.
Gentleman in the striped shirt in the back. Yeah, back there.
Sorry, my English is quite bad, so it will be in French. On a vu David Beckham.
We saw David Beckham in the stands.
On a vu des photos sur les réseaux sociaux
we
aussi.
saw photos on social networks also.
De bons souvenirs à
and
pas
that
mal de
probably
monde.
brings back some fine memories to all of us. Was that planned? Your encounter with David Beckham and with the team? And what message did David Beckham have to give to the players? What was his contribution to this evening?
Do you guys hear that question? No, it was actually. We had a 5 o'clock team talk, and he was due to come at 10 to 5. So we had half an hour slot, 15 minutes was for me, and then I wanted him to come in at the start and then get him out the way so the players could concentrate on the game, and he was late. So I did my team talk first, and I've got to say that there was 3 things happened before the game today. Catherine Granger, who is a great friend of Sue and's been brilliant with me throughout my tenureship, sent a video message that we played to the team before in my pre-match meeting that was give you goosebumps in terms of what it takes to win. And my players have that much respect for her. She's the greatest ever female Olympian. And when my players saw her on the screen and she told them about what it takes to win, about playing with your hearts and your head, and it was goosebumps. So I didn't really need to do that much before the game. Then we went downstairs and David and Harper was introduced to the team. That gave them a sense of how special the performances have been. And then to top it all off, Ian Wright was in reception, so I took him into the meal room and he just started cracking jokes and laughing and joking with them. So we were actually so relaxed before the game. And people can say sometimes, oh, that's a bit risky, you're taking your eyes off the game, but my players loved it. They loved the message from Catherine because I think they could relate to a female Olympian that's broke down barriers and made sacrifices. Then the icon that's been supporting probably me and the Lionesses from day one. He came to my second game in She Believes. He sends messages on social media. He announced Nikita Paris. He's got great humility. He spoke fantastically to the team. And it was great that he could bring his little daughter to show that he was a family man as well. And then Ian Wright came in and knew every single player's name by their nicknames. And he just made them laugh. And, so my job was easy.
Right there in the middle, black shirt.
Congratulations. We've spoken so much this tournament about the kind of wider duty of the girls and bringing the game to more people, more fans.
Yeah.
It was on, in pubs across the country. It was on at Glastonbury. We've got David Beckham here. Is this the moment we've been waiting for? Has it?
Well, I think we're getting to that legacy moment. I've got to say, it's always part of the plan. When we met. We had a camp in May when we played Russia 12 months ago, and we set out the objectives for the next 12 months, and all I wanted them to say was win the World Cup. And it was actually Leah Williamson said, we want more than the World Cup. We want to inspire, we want to build a legacy. We want the Lionesses to have a name that people around the world would relate to. They are, I'm going to say, badass women. That was our mantra, and... So they were thinking bigger than just winning a World Cup, which then knocked me in my stride a little bit. And we're at that point now where look, we're not getting carried away. We've lost 2 semi-finals, but we're now getting to that point now where we are inspiring, where people are jumping on board, where it just feels really good. And the pleasing thing is my players have got their feet on the ground and they see the next 2 games. They don't just see a semi-final. There's a different mentality. There's a winning mentality. I can see it in their eyes. They've got glazed eyes, and I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I've got to say I'm lucky. I'm just a coach that facilitates and picks the team and makes sure that they arrive for meetings on time and dressed in the right way. They go out there when they cross that line and they play with courage, bravery, and they play football the right way. We said two games ago it's non-negotiable. The way we play football is non-negotiable, and it's the way that we're going to be successful. And along the way, we're going to have fun, and we're all having fun. We don't want to go home, and we want to come home with that World Cup. And I think I keep thinking to myself, stop saying it, but we can't hide away from the fact something's happening, and we can't wait for next Tuesday. I don't know what day it is today, so does anyone else that's been here for 40 days?
It's match day. One more question right there in the middle. Right, the blue shirt.
We don't, Sue, do we?
Just a quicker one. Karen Barsley's looked over, she was struggling with a knock. What's her situation? And have you had to speak to Nikita and just keep her head after missing another one? Is that, just want to keep her, because she's caused so much threat when she was on the ball. She was terrorising them down the flank.
I thought she should have scored in the first half, to be honest with you, with left foot. She was disappointed with that at half time. Look, she's missed 2 penalties and they've both been really good saves. She'll take the next one. She's our best penalty taker, and she practices hard. She's a fighter. She'll be beating herself up tonight about not scoring, but she shouldn't, because the part that she played in Ellen's goal for the second goal was fantastic. The combination down the right for us, Scott, Bronze, and Paris has been electrifying at times, and Nikita, we tried to get her to move on fast, but she's a perfectionist. But she was smiling after the game. She realises that these things happen, and she's just got to get on with it and score the next one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations and good luck.
Karen, I think Karen will be okay. It was a tackle in the first half. It was more of a kick. She got through the second half really well. She made saves that looked easy, and we hope that she's fit for the semi-final. Yeah.